Hello everybody, slightly different kind of video today because I started this draft yesterday. We're currently 2-0 and playing for the trophy and it's a very unusual deck. So I figured I'd show you the trophy match. We're playing Storm, not a deck that's very common in 2024 in Vintage Cube. They cut a lot of the support, but not all of it. We still have Brain Freeze. So Storm is a well-known deck. The goal is to build up Storm count and then cast this for a lot. This deck is capable of winning on the first turn, actually. I mean, it helps to have multiple Moxen, but if you have, like, Land, Dark Ritual, LED, Yawgmoth's Will, Brain Freeze, then maybe like Mox plus a Manamorphose or something. You can play that. Turn 1, Land, Mox, Ritual, Manamorphose, Yawgmoth's LED, Yawgmoth's Will, crack the LED with that on the stack, then replay everything and Storm for like 10 plus on the first turn. So far, I have not done that. The earliest I've won is turn 4, but this deck can also just play somewhat of a reasonable longer game. Like with Delayed Blast, Fireball, and Fire Covenant, you have ways to clean up the board against creature decks, and against control, you basically just automatically win. So yeah, pretty sweet deck. We have Entomb for either Echo of Aeons, or sometimes even just Faithless Looting, or maybe if you have Yawgmoth's Will, you use this to find your Brain Freeze, LED. We also have Jace as an alternate win condition. We're pretty reliant on Yawgmoth's Will, so in one game where they took our Yawgmoth's Will, we just like played more of a controlling game and thought scoured ourselves and Jaced ourselves and won that way. Interestingly, we also have Dark Depths plus Vampire Hexmage in the sideboard with Expedition Map. I did not wheel Thespian Stage, but that's like a direction we could go as well. But yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. Not very common that you get to play Storm, but we'll run it. The main card we were hoping to find was Underworld Breach, which would make this a lot better. Breach plus LED plus Brain Freeze is basically a win just by itself. So the first pack was really weak in general, but it had Brain Freeze and LED. So I took Brain Freeze, planning on wheeling LED and hoping to find Underworld Breach at some point later in the draft, but then we never saw Breach. I would probably take Breach over like anything other than Black Lotus. Okay, I will keep this hand. It's not super exciting, but it is a keep. Having Fire Covenant's great. If we find a black or a red source, then we can just buy a ton of time basically. And we're very, very happy to see Seachrome Ghost go. Actually, both of my matchups so far have been against aggressive decks, and we basically just want to be playing against something that's slow. I'm gonna hold off on this Faithless Looting, just make sure they don't know what's up. Okay, we'll play it now. I want to play it before they could have Hull Breacher or Narset. Huh. Okay. Could have played around that by playing a land first. I think this is fine, though. That's, like, if they're going to use that... Counter Magic is good again. Oh, I forgot to mention, we also have this Zerda. Counter Magic is good against our deck, so them using it on Faithless Looting that we don't care that much about is great for us. I gave myself an unofficial no creature stipulation in the main deck, so... Really not many permanents in general, and Zerda is free. Jace, okay. I don't think it's right to fire off this Echo of Aeons here. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. Discarding Chandra, interesting. I thought cover myself here. Okay, I'm gonna play Manamorphose. Not going for like a crazy storm kill here. I might just take out the Jace though. Gonna add black red. Venser. Okay. So next turn, hopefully we can Fire Covenant to sweep their board. found their first red source. Yeah, I'm just going to fire off the Fire Covenant here with the memory lapse up. With this sort of deck, we just want to buy as much time as possible, take draw steps, hit land drops. Okay, I am going to memory lapse this. They have another counterspell. It could be a little bit bad, or I mean, probably game-endingly bad, actually. Bummer. Maybe this is fine. The Jace doesn't really have anything to flashback. We're under some pressure from the Venser, but not too much. They've played now 4 counterspells. If they have another one, then... Oh, wait. Unfortunately, the counterspell is back on top of their deck. That's bad. Discarding Fiery Confluence, which they can flashback. Okay, yeah, we're pretty dead here. I mean, we can beat the counterspell if they have nothing else, maybe. Cast Kaito. We'll see if they counter this. Okay, I'm just gonna loot. Discard. Echo. Then I'm just gonna play Land and Pass. We're dead if they have untapped red source and they go for the Fiery Confluence. I think it's worth it to just like take that risk though. I don't. Well, yeah, they haven't played their second red source yet. They bounce our thing. Okay, that's fine. The problem is they still have this counterspell in hand. Okay. So you lose game 1. They have a lot of counter magic, which is quite bad. I was saying that I was thinking control would be a good matchup, and in theory it should be, but they do have a lot of ways to break up our combo. Do we want to make any changes here? No. On the play. Let's go. I'll keep this hand. Once again, I think the key is just early on just hitting land drops. No rush to play the probe. I doubt that I'll use it on the storm turn, but... okay, actually, now that I have the ponder, I'm just going to fire this probe off just for a little information so we can know what we're up against. So counterspell, remand, Flage. Flage is interesting. Flage is good with Dak. Let's ponder. This hand seems pretty... These cards seem pretty bad. Jace is not that bad, but like, yeah, I think we're going to shuffle here. Lorien revealed, okay. They play Ponder. Interesting. So they're tapping out of Counterspell and Remand. That seems incorrect. I mean, I get that they want the land, but they could have waited a turn. They choose not to shuffle. Honestly, I'm just going to fire off Lorien Revealed here, funnily enough. Alright, pass turn. Now, if they go for Dak, okay, they play Coalition Relic, sure. So we'll go Mox, Island, Kaito, and I'm just going to be looting. I don't care about making a 1-1, really. And now they can play Dak Faden. Then we can memory lapse, but they can counter our memory lapse if they have a land. Or no, even if they don't have a land, they can do that. So hopefully they just go for... I guess, yeah, no matter what, they're going to be able to resolve one of their Planeswalkers here and steal our Mox Jet. So I think it was still correct to play the Mox Jet to hold up the memory lapse, but maybe not. We can kill their deck with our Creeping Tar Pit if we care about it. So I'm going to memory lapse. This does allow them to remand their own Dak Faden if they want to, which is kind of a nice value play, but then we can just play Echo Vions and sort of ignore it. Wow, they drew mana. Like, they have an insane amount of counter magic, which is not great. So we're going to go land, animate the Tar Pit. I want to kill the Dak when they have Flage. That's like, Flage is a real fast clock. Draw a card and pass turn. They have 5 mana, potentially 6. We know 4 of their cards. They could play Jace and try to find another land for their counter magic. I like our opponent's deck a lot. I'm a big fan of Jeskai. I like playing decks like that. Flage, okay. It's not what I was expecting to see. We'll loot. Interesting. Okay, I'll just discard Island, play Blackleaf Cliffs, and pass. There's an argument to playing Mountain there, actually, because Mountain would give us end of turn Burst Lightning. If they go for Jace plus, but that still wouldn't even kill it. If we're able to ever resolve this Yawgmoth's Will, I like our position, but with them having Counterspell and Remand, plus like Venser and no more lives to draw towards, it could be tough. I'm hoping to just find the card Brain Freeze, because that's why these matchups can become a little bit better. Like, even if you lose the counter war, you know, we play like a couple things, they counter a couple things, all of a sudden Storm is randomly 6, and you can just like kill them on turn 9. Okay, that's fine. They can't really play Jace or Flage here because they don't want to tap too low. I'm going to play a bait Echo Vions, fully expecting them to counter this. They could also just let it resolve, in which case it's honestly probably, then it's basically just 2 draws well off of it. But there's no way they counter. Yeah, they're just going to remand it, which is a good exchange for them. We don't get it back. That's good, gone for good. But the remand's out of their hand, crucially. Like, we just need to run them out of counter magic, basically. I think there's almost no value in attacking with Tar Pit or putting Zerda into my hand here. We're like fully in on Brain Freeze as our win condition, so I'm just going to pass. Like, against Flage, trying to push damage is not going to be successful. So if they escape Flage, we could go end of turn Fire Covenant to kill the Flage, which will hurt us a lot, of course. So we go to 17, then we're going to go down to 11. We'll see if they counter this. If they do counter it, then we can go for the kill. If they don't counter it, we can potentially... it just buys us a lot more time. Okay, so I think we just go for the kill here. It's not guaranteed by any means, but I think, and also they could have more counter magic, but I still think it's correct. Oh wow, that was best possible. So are we more worried about storm count or mana? Honestly, not really worried about either. I'm worried about finding action. Let's go land, LED, Manamorphose. Interesting. I think I will play this. Maybe not. If we don't, how much mana do we have? I mean, we have a ton of mana. What I really don't want, though, I guess we actually don't even need to worry about... well, there's no point in playing it now. Actually, it's really interesting. If we play it now and plus we do get an extra looks for Yawgmoth's Will, but we can also just play it from our graveyard. I think that's a little bit better. Well, play Jace, play Yawgmoth's Will, crack LED. No, I'm just gonna go for the Yawgmoth's Will. So we're gonna cast Yawgmoth's Will here. Crack this for blue. They had to do a counterspell, but they've gone through a lot of counterspells already. Replay LED. Cast Dark Ritual. Should be able to win from here. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it looks good. Let's go for Probe for Life. Ponder. Okay, I'm going to keep these because of Gush. Now we will... Let's see, do we want to play Jace? Yeah, I think so. Mill myself too, because we know the top two cards are both lands that we don't want. Now we can cast the Gush. Oh, whoops. We should have cracked this LED a while ago, but that's fine. We can play the Gush now. Crack LED in response. Gonna make some blue. 2 more looks. Then we have Metamorphose and Lorien Revealed to get 4 more looks. So we get to see the top 6 cards at least, and we can find more cantrips from there. Okay. Cast Mox Ruby. Cast Metamorphose. Storm is 11, so if we can find the Brain Freeze, we're definitely good. Thought Scour. That's interesting. So we could go for Jace milling ourselves. I think I'm going to start with Lorien Revealed. And if we find Brain Freeze, we're just good. Okay, there's the Brain Freeze. I guess we can... Yeah, let's just do it on them. Like, we could guarantee the win by playing Brain Freeze on ourselves, but then we could just get less information. So I'm just going to do it on them so we can see their entire deck. We have Memory Lapse up too if we somehow need it. Alright, well, pretty satisfying win there. Overcame Mana Leak, Counterspell, Remand. There's the Venser. Do they have any more counter magic? Hopefully not. Treachery is pretty funny against us. Good to know about Soul Ring and Fourth Air Lingus. They're also playing Swords to Plowshares. I don't know why they're playing all this creature removal. Okay, honestly, this should be a good matchup. They've just drawn a disproportionately high amount of their counter magic in both games, but like most of these cards I don't really care about at all. Fourth Air Lingus is a little scary. They can burn us out, but like, I mean, Sunfall and Treachery and Swords to Plowshares are literal blanks that do 0. They have no impact on the game whatsoever. Prismatic Ending is quite bad. I guess we do have some Moxen. Dak Faden is good against us. But yeah, interesting match there for sure. I don't think I'm going to make any... I mean, I definitely don't want the Vampire Hexmage thing. Expedition map to find Shelldock Isle is reasonable. Shelldock Isle is really good in this matchup, but they have Teferi to shut it down, so that makes it a little bit worse. I don't think Talon is very good. I don't think Delayed Blast Fireball is very good, though, so I'm just going to play this as a 17th land, I think. And then I'm going to cut one of my mountains for this map. Yeah, I think there's a fine way to do it. Okay, good hand. Turn 2, Kaito. They are on the play... Oh, wait, no, we don't have black mana yet. Still definitely a keep. I would love to see like a Jace out of them. No Soul Ring, please. Nice. I'm gonna hold off on that and play the Surveil Land first. Not a bad draw though. Alright, sure, I'll keep it. Don't love the prospect of having to play a tap land next turn, but it's not the worst. So we have either Kaito or Relic next turn. Kaito is certainly not his best in this matchup. I'd much rather Narset. But looting is pretty solid. Just like turning through our deck and filling our graveyard is very valuable. But the ultimate does nothing, and the -2 doesn't do much either. Interesting. No play. I'm like pretty much 100% certain that they have something, so I don't think it makes sense to just jam into their open mana here when they're missing land drops. Yeah, still just gonna keep playing lands and waiting. Could even attack them for 3, funnily enough. I think at that point, though, I'd rather just put... Oh, wait, no. If we put the thing into our hand, we have to discard. I'm just going to pass. But maybe we're supposed to attack with Creeping Tar Pit. That is bad if they have Swords to Plowshares, though. Yeah, honestly, just making no move is probably correct. Just going to keep passing. There's basically no incentive to ever do anything in this position when we know they have a lot of counter magic, as long as we're able to keep hitting land drops. They also might just tilt concede. Yeah, I'm totally fine with this. I guess I'll put this into play. If they want to counter this, they're more than welcome to. I guess actually they could have Remand, which would really help them here. But yeah, that's a very good exchange. Gonna pass back. We could double spell here. Yeah, they're also not missing. They're not discarding hand size anymore. I'm gonna play Kaito. My hand is weirdly good though. There's not really anything I want to discard, so I'm probably just gonna make a dude and pass. So we have Fire Covenant for 4th Air Lingus. I think I'm just going to Burst Lightning this. And I'm certainly happy if they go for a counterspell. Kind of a cheesy last game where like we really don't have to do much to overcome what they have, but still in a good spot, which is always nice. What, you gonna Flage my token? Deal. That is interesting and probably just correct to play. So I'll discard that. Play Mox Ruby. Play Manamorphose. Play Mox Jet. Play LED. Play Relic. And I'm not going to use this shell. Well, yeah, I guess we'll do it like this. Play Jace. Then crack the LED for blue. To flashback Echo Vions. And this is just a nice board. Somehow I have not played land yet. Let's Jace ourselves. We'll go land, cast Gush. If we find Brain Freeze, of course, we have lethal. Let's cast... Well, okay, we could also just wait now. Like, we could keep going, but there is some risk of just... I don't want to, like, cast all my stuff and then die to just never finding the Brain Freeze. But with Yawgmoth's Will in hand, it's not that likely for that to happen. So let's cast this for blue. Cast Ponder. Okay, the Entomb should win. Oh no, we don't have enough black mana this turn. So I'm going to shuffle, and just in case we can rip the Brain Freeze here. No such luck. So I'm just going to play Talisman into map and then end the turn. It's funny to go this hard and then not actually kill them, but I think this is... I mean, we can certainly kill them next turn, guaranteed, with either Jace on ourselves or with Brain Freeze on them, and they only have... like, if they draw 2 counterspells, I still think we could just win with Jace. They need to have an answer to Jace plus 2 counterspells, which is not impossible, maybe. But actually, we've seen enough of their deck. I don't think they could answer Jace that efficiently. And they don't have, like, Time Walk or any sort of weird sequences involving that. Our life total is super high, so we don't need to worry about getting burned out or 4th Aerlingist out. I'm going to take a screenshot of this board state because it's kind of hilarious. They just wait, they don't even play a land. What? There's no way they don't have a land. That's too funny. Okay, gonna fire off a Faithless Looting. Well, alright. I mean, we get to just draw all the cards. Now I'll play Faithless Looting. I'll Jace myself. I'll Brainstorm. Don't care about either of these. I want to keep the Thought Scour, though, because that's... Well, actually, no, this is fine. Because we can use this to draw at instant speed, which is a win with Jason play. Still no Brain Freeze, funnily enough. I'm going to be, like, as careful as possible. There's no reason to do anything unnecessary here. Like, I don't want to die to Brazen Borrower or bounce Jace with some weird stuff up. They do have the Brazen Borrower. Storm count is 6. I'll cast this just for Storm. Cast Yawgmoth's Will. Cast Dark Ritual. Cast Brain Freeze. I'll cast Entomb, I guess, just for Storm. Now Brain Freeze them. And we have a way to win at instant speed with Relic of Sauron. So, same. Both players have 0 cards in library, but that's only good for one of us. All right, pretty solid. So, glad y'all could see finishing off the trophy there with a sweet deck. I wish I could have recorded the draft. Did not know that it was going to be such a unique deck when I started this last night. But yeah, sweet deck for sure. Got the trophy with Storm, which feels great. Like I mentioned earlier, the lacking Underworld Breach was the big problem. Obviously, also like more broken stuff. I'm not going to complain with 2 Moxen, but this is a deck where Black Lotus would be like 100 times better. Like I would much rather have Black Lotus than I would trade both of my Moxen for 1 Black Lotus in a heartbeat. But like, you know, if we could add Lotus, Ancestral Recall, and Underworld Breach, losing like our 2 Moxen and I don't know, whatever other card, then this deck would be amazing. I like that we have so much cheap card selection with 5 1-mana cantrips, counting Faithless Looting, and then also the Entomb. We have pretty good redundancy for the acceleration with Dark Ritual plus a bunch of artifact mana. We had some redundancy for the board sweepers, which is really clutch in a lot of matchups, and then redundancy for win conditions with both Brain Freeze and Jace, and that made this deck just really, really sweet. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.